Last week I did a video which explored why MP Materials stock price had pulled back. One of the reasons was the insider selling of the shares. I didn't really go into detail about it, but I just wanted to clarify a few things and put it in context. You can see the headline came out, and basically it was saying that James Litinsky, who is the chairman, netted about $43 million selling the shares. That was just 7% of his holdings, so it's not excessive. But yes, it is sort of a reason. I can see why people got a little bit nervous. It was the biggest insider sale of the last year. So obviously people are going to question what's going on. Now at the time of my video, I drew this support line. I said, hopefully we can hold this, but I didn't want to put too much weight on a trend line because the company has just exploded up, whatever it was, 200%. So I was saying that it's quite reasonable that you would expect the insiders to perhaps take some profit after such an incredible 2020. Now hopefully it has found a support here. Time will tell. But I want to show you something that's quite interesting with the shares that have been sold. We can see the insider sale transactions, the amount of shares sold and how many shares that person or company owned. But what's interesting is all of them sold at $33.78. This tells me that it probably wasn't a panic sale or something fundamental with the company. It's probably a planned sell. And although these were the biggest sales, there were a lot more. You can see that price, $33.78, was the trigger price for all of these sell orders down to there. And another sell order on the 15th of March, exactly the same, $45.98, $45.98. What I mean is the sell orders for two different people or companies were the same price. So why is this? Well, there's a thing called the 10B5/1 trading plan. This is a pre-arranged trading plan that insiders set up, which provides a defense against charges of insider trading. It's extremely illegal for insiders to trade based on any privileged knowledge about the company or what's going to be happening in the future of the company. So they set up pre-arranged sell order at a specific price or date, something that is out of their control. This could be for buying or selling. You can see here, typically Rule 10B5-1 trading plans specify the number of shares to be sold or purchased at the price and date detailed, and or have a formula or algorithm that triggers the trade and the number of shares involved. So it looks to me like this was part of a sell plan that several of the insiders had, and that's why it was the same price that triggered for everyone. Another interesting thing, if we go back to this page and we look at the number of shares sold and the number of shares owned, if we divide this by this, we can see the percentage of their shares sold. Go over to my trusty calculator. By the way, this took me ages to find a calculator that I can just copy and paste the number. Be surprised. I tried loads of them, they wouldn't let me paste. Anyway, that's the number of shares sold divided by, I've got this ready here, the number of shares owned, and this is for QVT Finance. Okay, enter, and we times that by 100 to give us a percentage. That gives us 7.53%, 7.53. Okay, let's look at the next one. JHL Capital Group, same thing. Let's take the number of shares sold divided by the number of shares owned. Okay, that's the number of shares sold divided by number of shares owned times 100, same number, 7.53%. And you can do the rest of these. So what we're seeing is they've not only sold exactly the same percentage of their holdings, but they sold at exactly the same price, which further supports the idea that this is probably an insider sell that was set up, not something that's fundamentally wrong with the business. Now, I don't know what the reason for the sales are, so this is just a hunch. It looks suspiciously orderly, doesn't it, if everyone's selling the same amount and at the same price. But anyway, I've just emailed the MP Materials Investor Inquiries email, and what I've said is, "Dear Sir, Madam, I'm writing in relation to the recent sale transactions by the following insiders," and I've listed the insiders. "As a shareholder myself, I just wondered if these transactions were part of a pre-arranged 10B5-1 trading plan, or if there's another reason for the sales which may reflect a change in the company fundamentals." So if I get a reply back, I'll post that, so just keep an eye on my YouTube channel. And on a broader view, we can see that 500,000 shares were bought in the last 3 to 6 months, but 6.2 million shares were sold. Again, I think this is just because the stock price ran up so incredibly. So feel free to look at my other video if you haven't seen it, which does dig a bit deeper into the company in general. And any more news from my side, I'll post another video, and see you in the next one.